there are some conditions that can result into the child being bigger, irrespective of the mother's pelvis being adequate enough to accommodate a vaginal delivery. And the commonest in Uganda here is macrosomic babies, or very big babies. So a child that is more than 3.5 kilograms is considered to be a big baby. However, at times we give mothers a chance to try and deliver, and some mothers can deliver up to as big as 4.5 kilograms. But when the baby goes beyond 4.5 to 5, then a cesarean section would be a safer mode of delivery. Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in always. Ask Dr. Star as usual as we start our programs. So last week I promised you to talk about reasons why some mothers deliver normally and why some mothers go through a cesarean section. This is quite important because you must know why some mothers deliver well and why some others have a cesarean section to enable you make an informed decision in the right time when there is a critical moment. This saves both the mother's life and a child's life. At the same time, it helps us avoid unnecessary cesarean sections when you are very much informed. So what is a cesarean section in particular? It's a form of delivery where a doctor cuts through your abdominal layers and accesses your uterus through the abdomen and gets out the baby. And this is done where the doctor feels that allowing the baby to be delivered by SVD or to be born vaginally could cause more harm than good in particular. So today we are going to see reasons why a mother can go through a cesarean section. One, there are reasons that are natural and cannot be modified. One of the reasons could be what we call cephalopelvic disproportion, or having the cephalus or the child's head bigger than the pelvis. So the pelvis is the part where the mother passes. The baby passes to come out through vaginally. And this could either be to a mother or a child or both. So what could be due to the mother? If the mother has had a pelvic fracture and has reduced the size of the pelvis, or if the mother is having an inadequate pelvis. An inadequate pelvis means that this mother has a very small pelvis that cannot allow the head of the baby to enter during delivery. And when we go to the child, there are some conditions that can result into the child being bigger, irrespective of the mother's pelvis being adequate enough to accommodate a vaginal delivery. And the commonest in Uganda here is macrosomic babies, or very big babies. So a child that is more than 3.5 kilograms is considered to be a big baby. However, at times we give mothers a chance to try and deliver, and some mothers can deliver up to as big as 4.5 kilograms. But when the baby goes beyond 4.5 to 5, then a cesarean section would be a safer mode of delivery. Now, there's a baby not being big, but the baby has a deformity like hydrocephalus, which is a condition that results into a baby being born with a very big head. So that would end up requiring a cesarean section. So anything that would result into a baby not passing through the pelvic bones, which cannot adjust anymore, to come down vaginally, is something that we can call cephalopelvic disproportion. Apart from that, what else can cause a a cesarean section. There are other conditions. If someone has had is not yet in labor, we can have either an elective cesarean section. Elective means the doctor will prepare you and you know that on this date I'm going for a cesarean section. Or someone having an emergency cesarean section. So we are going to first start with things that, why would a doctor tell me to come early and they do a cesarean section before term? The commonest cause of an elective cesarean section would be 2 previous scars, or if you have had a surgery on your uterus, in particular 2 times. This excludes other surgeries like appendicectomy, like preparing your appendix, or salpingectomy when you had a tubal ectopic. We are considering the surgeries that were on your uterus. So if you have had more than 1 scar, or if you have had more than 1 surgery on your uterus, it means that you are a candidate for an elective cesarean section. The doctors don't need to risk to give you a chance to try. Why would we not do that? If your uterus has very many scars and it contracts a lot during delivery, it might contract and rupture. So for your safety, the doctor decided to say, let us do an elective cesarean section. What else? If in the previous delivery you had a CPD or a cephalopelvic disproportion, this time we don't give you a chance, we make an elective cesarean section and you go in for a delivery. There are other conditions like oligohydramnions, where the baby does not have enough amniotic fluid where to play from. So when the baby is lacking enough amniotic fluid where they can turn and have a safe delivery, a safe turning during delivery, we normally schedule for you when the baby is term. We normally deliver via an elective cesarean section. Then, why would you come in a facility and they give you a chance to try and maybe you fail and we do what we call an emergency cesarean section? The commonest cause of an emergency cesarean section in our setting in Uganda has been fetal distress. So what is fetal distress? Fetal distress is a condition where we find that the baby is tired and there are very many signs of fetal distress. The very first one is if the doctor is examining you and they found that the baby has peed or has passed some meconium, then that is not a very good sign. It shows that this baby is tired. The second thing would be if you listen to the baby's fetal heart and the fetal heart rate is high, it's supposed to be between 120 to 160. So the baby's fetal heart is more than 160 or below 120. Then that would be an indicative that this baby is getting tired. If at all the mother tells you that previously my baby has been moving actively, but the baby is no longer active, then that is an indication that this baby is getting tired. So we normally first try to manage that, we resuscitate the mother, but if distress continues, then we do a cesarean section and we take out this baby. So after that, you're in labor and maybe we have what we call membrane rupture. The membranes have ruptured. The membranes are the sacs that are keeping the baby. And when the doctor examines, after the membranes have ruptured, water goes away and your head is accessible. So when we find out that the baby is presenting with the cord, that means that the cord is coming faster. And as the head is pressing, it will press the cord. So when it presses the cord, we shall have no nutrient supply like oxygen and other nutrients to the baby. So that is always, the doctor will put you in a neat head position, and you face down on the bed, and they take you to a theater very fast to have an emergency Caesarean section. And then there are now other factors that will come in. At times you examine and you find that the baby is presenting with the face. So when the baby presents the face down there, despite the fact that it is the head that has come out first, the face has a longer distance from your chin to the scalp. So the baby might not be in position to pass through vaginally. So when this baby has a face presentation, it's better maybe you turn back and you do a cesarean section for this mother, save both the mother and the baby. So ideally, those are some of the reasons. At times you might go to examine and then a baby is having what we call a footling breach. A footling breach means the baby is seated. Instead of having the head first, the legs are coming first. So ideally, if the bums were coming first, maybe somehow, somewhere, someone could go in and deliver this mother. But if the baby is sending a foot first, or what we call a footling breach, then we normally have a cesarean section. Or if you're having twins, and with those twins, the first twin is a breach, we don't allow you to have a normal delivery. We normally want a cesarean section. And then there is you having a breech presentation, or your baby is having the buttocks, which would be delivered first, or a frank breech, but it's your first time to deliver. We are not sure if your pelvis is adequate enough to deliver a baby. So at that moment, if the mother is delivering for the second time, but they have a breech presentation, we allow them try. But if you are delivering for the first time and you are having a breech presentation, then most likely we are going to do a cesarean section and we deliver this baby. Other conditions might be someone having a very tight neutral cord. It means that the baby's head plus the neck has the cord passing around it and it is tight, which will stop the baby from progressing down into your pelvis, pulling the baby back, and at the same time, making our baby very tired. So when we realize that it is stopping labor progress, maybe on ultrasound, we normally decide to say, let's do an emergency cesarean section, and we save this child from having fetal distress. Finally, we can have prolonged labor. You came in a facility and we have more than 24 hours. Ideally, we consider 18 hours, but the new guidelines are giving us up to 26 hours for a prime gravida. So we normally want to, if someone has been in labor, in active labor, because latent labor is not counted, in active labor for that long time, then we decide to say that you've been in labor for so long, it's putting your life and the baby's life at risk. So we decide to do an emergency cesarean section. Maybe what we left behind was for one to do an elective. If the baby is not in a cephalic presentation and not a breech, maybe a transverse lie, maybe the baby is not sleeping well in the uterus and cannot present either the buttocks first or the head first in transverse or oblique, we normally do an elective cesarean section.